All right, we should be going live now. Let me know if y'all can see me, if you can hear me. Hopefully, everything's live. Trying a little different setup, and I kind of botched it a little bit here, but looks like we are live on TikTok, and it looks like we are live on YouTube as well. Y'all let me know in the chat if you can see me, if you can hear me. Did I unmute? Looks like I unmuted. Looks like I pressed all the right buttons. Lord have mercy. Too many buttons. Since my Bluetooth died and I've lost some of my USB extensions, everything's kind of a mess. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of stressful getting this thing started up and getting it going, but I'm glad we're here. Who have we got? Casey in the chat. Appreciate it. Thanks for the feedback. Mike D says we're doing good. Bill Rubin over on TikTok. Northwest Bourbon hanging out with me. And Quack Quack. I'm a big fan of wheat, Quack. What's going on, Parrot Head? What have we got going on over on YouTube? Brian in the chat. Matt Horn. Carson, thanks for joining early, guys. Brevard. James Groff, good evening to you, too. Got video and voice, Carson says. Daniel. Carrie, what's going on? War Damn Steve is awake. Tell y'all a story about War Damn Steve in a minute. That was a lot of fun. I'm probably going to do that again tonight, Steve. We may do that again. Wired mouse, yeah, James. The Bluetooth in my streaming rig has completely died. So I've ordered a new computer. Bluetooth is gone. It's having a lot of problems. Sometimes my capture card's not working for the camera, and I have to go through and reset everything up. So it's kind of a pain in the butt right now. And I think this is my daughter's mouse. I can't even find my mouse. I used to have a wired mouse in it. Now it's completely gone. Who knows? Who freaking knows? But we're going to get it. We're trying to elevate the stream. I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight. What my plans are for the stream. We're going to try to start inching that way in December. We'll see if we actually get the new stuff going in December or not. Matt, appreciate the TikToks. 22 of them. Nice, man. Thanks for the support. Alan Whitener, what's up, man? What's going on? That Dr. Pepper is better than Brothers Bond. Trust you? All right. A lot of people ask about that one, so I'm probably going to have to try that one at some point. What I'm probably going to do tonight is what we did the other night. When we got off the stream, I went to the Discord, and I jumped in the Discord, and we just jumped into a chat, right? A voice chat. We had 5 or 6 folks in there, hung out for another hour or two over in the Discord. So make sure you're in the Discord if you want to join us after this stream is over. Probably won't be super late tonight, but we'll jump over there and that way everybody can talk. It's not just you looking at me. There's no looking at, it's just an audio chat. But that was a lot of fun. So we were in there and it got kind of late. I'll admit it got pretty late. And Steve dozed off on us. And he was sawing some logs in the voice chat there. So I had to mute him, and then we finished talking, and when we were ready to go, we unmuted him just to make sure he was still breathing, and he was. But that was a lot of fun. Catching up on the chat here over on TikTok. My favorite whiskey is William LaRue Weller. Zebo's got it right there. Sipping some Uncle Nearest small batch. Nice. Big Gooch. I'm an Auburn grad, so Auburn fan. I'm in Alabama. Don't really have pro sports, so don't really pay attention to pro sports so much. User says, what's your oldest bourbon in your collection? Probably 18 years old. Elijah Craig, 18. Pendleton and 7 Up. I don't have any Pendleton, but I'll have to keep an eye out for it. What's going on? Is that Clone Aiden? How are you doing? What are you sipping on this evening? Picked up Woodford Double Oaked, Brian says, and it is fire. It's hard to beat Woodford Double Oaked. $60, very reliably good. Nice oakiness to it, but it's got a balanced vanilla sweetness. It's just a next level regular release from a major distillery. Old Taylor. I've had E.H. Taylor, but not Old Taylor. What's up, Jason G? Chris owns a liquor store and absolutely loves watching the content. Well, Chris, send me a message, man. Let's catch up. I got some ideas. I don't know if they're going to work. We'll talk about that in a second. I've got some ideas for the live stream, but I can't get them approved. They're borderline legal and completely against the terms of service of social media platforms. So I've got an alternative we're going to talk about here in a second. Todd, man, happy Monday to you too. Did I see the ABC Pappy Day list? Oh, did they drop they dropped the, man, I should have set up so I can freaking show that to everybody. I didn't see. So Alabama has a lottery. And we'll probably go over it Wednesday then. They have a lottery, and I guess what he's saying is they announced the tables and what's in it. But we'll look at that. We'll look at that on Wednesday. Stan works at a liquor store and does the bourbon drops. Hey, they're a lot of fun. I enjoy going to them. So it's, sometimes I can't make it. It's got to be a pretty good bottle to get me there usually because I'm lazy or I got 1,000 other things to do. But when I do go, it's always a lot of fun. And we're trying to get more of those videos where we go out bourbon hunting. So I'm going to be in Louisville this Sunday. I'm driving to Louisville. I'm going to do some bourbon hunting with some content creators there. I've got to be in Indianapolis in December. We're going to try to do some bourbon hunting there. I'm going to hit up some folks on TikTok and see if they're available to do all of that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. What's up with the title, Scott? I was just trying to see if it would work, first of all. Second, I just don't feel like drinking today. Right? So, I love a good bourbon. Love a good bourbon, don't get me wrong. But realistically, I'm drinking more days than I used to now that we're creating content because I'm streaming twice a week. I'm filming 1 or 2 nights a week. Sometimes I jump on other people's streams and I grab a pour. And so I'm just dialing it back a little bit, man. And if, y'all let me know. If I'm not going to be drinking, would you rather me not stream? Like, I just thought it'd be fun to hang out. But yeah, just dialing it back today. What's up, Chris Hamill? Question for all. I need a bourbon that has chocolate and leather notes in it to pair with a medium cigar. What would y'all say a bourbon that has chocolate and leather notes that's strong enough to go with a cigar? A Magnus? Or not Magnus. Garrison Brothers. Garrison Brothers? All right. Let's see what we're catching up. Chris, Brusel Rules, appreciate it. Over on TikTok, Blueberry 99 proof. I don't know what that is. Currently sipping on Kentucky Owl Confiscated. How do you like that? Terry, thoughts on Nashville Barrel Company. I've never had their stuff. I need some. I was in Nashville not too long ago. I should have bought some. I really should have. What is a good vanilla flavor? Like I said, I like the Woodford Double Oaked. I get a lot of vanilla on like the Benchmark Bonded as well. Those tend to give me a ton of vanilla flavors. Borchetta bourbon, I haven't heard of that. Finally got my hands on an E.H. Taylor small batch at $60, Parrot Head. Congratulations, enjoy it, crack it open. Appreciate it, James, appreciate it. Just got a bottle of Rowan's Creek. I had a bottle, I drank it. I don't remember it being bad. It's been several years, but it wasn't good enough for me to buy another one. So it's been a while since I've had it. Just jumping back and forth in the chat here. Let me check on the stream health real quick, and then I'll try to catch up on all of these comments here. Make sure the stream health looks good. It's looking all right over on YouTube, and then over on TikTok, looks like it's all going through just fine as well. Great. Best Thanksgiving bourbon to take to the family. If the family's not super into bourbon, something that would impress them but is not terribly hard to get. If you could get your hands on like an Eagle Rare, that's probably what I would take because they're not terribly hard to get here. Blanton's is not terribly hard to get here. So like my wife just went down to some friend's house down by the beach and she wanted us. I sent a Blanton's with her. If those don't work out, I always go for just good old trusty Buffalo Trace. If they're kind of into bourbon, I'm going to typically go with like a Woodford Double Oaked they were mentioning there. If you're going for cheap stuff, Wild Turkey 101 is always a good one that, you're not really denting your collection too much if you go after that one. Ah, Steven, I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. Your comment got filtered. I wasn't sure what you were saying over there. So don't show the list. Okay. Well, I mean, if you're talking about the lottery, I mean, there is a walk-up line, so I get you. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll keep it between us. No. Woodford doesn't have leather. I misspoke. Did I say? I didn't say Woodford, did I? I was trying to say Garrison Brothers with kind of that leather flavor. Yeah, I think you're commenting on Brian there. Yeah, Woodford Double Oak doesn't have, to me, it is very oaky, not leather, and just like a sweet vanilla. So, appreciate it, Chris, over on TikTok. Don't have any driftless Glen. I literally just bought a Basil Hayden toast, and I have not opened it yet. We're trying to do a toasted barrel blind, and I needed one more toasted barrel for it, so I bought a Basil Hayden toast, and I just haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try it for the first time in that video, which I'll probably shoot tomorrow sometime. Ryan, I do have some Bookers. I like Bookers a lot. It was an acquired taste. Took me a little while to get into it, but still, really good stuff. Let's see, catch up here. Thoughts on eggnog alcohol? I mean, I like eggnog, and I like alcohol in my eggnog. I don't know if you're talking about something other than that. Like, is there, because now they're getting crazy with stuff, man. They're making all sorts of weird shit. So you end up with, like, you know, peach flavored this and maple flavored that, or I don't know if there's an eggnog flavored alcohol. I don't think that would be good. You just put a little bourbon in your eggnog, though. Buffalo Trace drops it. Yeah, Alabama's ABC is this weekend. Not a lot of great bottles. I don't think I'm going to make it just because I need to leave Sunday. So I'll probably just kind of rest and relax a little bit on Saturday. Maybe work around the house some. My find for the week, a Weller CYPB. Michael. It's not worth the hype or the price that it goes for, but it's a really good Weller pour. Like, it's a really good bottle. It's not a $700 bottle or whatever they were going for in the secondary. I think I've seen them around $5 lately, so they may have deflated a little bit with the economy. It's not that kind of bottle to me, but still freaking delicious. If you got it at MSRP, enjoy the heck out of it. And if you didn't enjoy it, I'm not hating. A day off is good for all of us. I understand that. I definitely need one. So, about to get another OF86 and Coke. Nice. That's a good combo. All right, jumping back over on TikTok. My favorite whiskey is William LaRue. Weller, Zach Anderson. Screwball, peanut brittle flavor. If they would just turn the sugar way down, that would probably be a better mixer for me. I like peanut brittle, or at least I used to. I haven't had it in a long time. Don't have any Nulu Double Oaked. The 1792s behind me are fine. I don't just love them, so I don't drink them a whole bunch. John, I'm probably not going this weekend to get anything. It's just a very limited release. All those bottles I have multiples of that I would want. So if I'm just sitting around bored, I may just show up to see what people get and hang out, but I don't think I'm going to care much to get a bottle. Just got a Penelope toasted. I was hoping to find one of those, but they don't really distribute Penelope in the state of Alabama much. I can get some of their stuff every once in a while, but I can't get a large selection, and I haven't had time to go over to Columbus where I could find that bottle, probably. Been a year since you've got your hands on Buffalo Trace? I hate to hear that, man. It's been everywhere here lately. Like, I've seen a lot of Buffalo Trace in my hunting over the last month or two. Bourbon is for breakfast. Hey, bourbon's for whenever you want to have it. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Oh, and West, thoughts on Weller 107, and have you noticed a difference in single barrel store picks? Yes, a little bit on the Weller Antique 107 store picks, but I love Weller Antique 107. That's my favorite regular, like, Weller release, right? Not the William LaRue. I love 107. I like 107 more than I like Full Proof. The Full Proof has its merits. It's a delicious pour, super intense, but that 107 proof is just where it's at. So when my palate's right, I get all the right flavors on that one. Rust Minor, tried my first bourbon outside Jack, and it was Old Forester. It was better, but still hot. So what proof was the Old Forester, Rust Minor? Brusel Will checking in from the Maldives. Give me a freaking break, man. Lord have mercy. Man's in the Maldives. He going to check in on this live stream. Okay. Chris says, just as interesting with or without. Nice. Maybe Garrison Brothers. Yeah. What's going on, Smokey? Yeah, hit that like button for me if you would. If you're not following, I figure most people on TikTok are probably following just because we're using the big camera and TikTok doesn't promote it to somebody that's not following much. So it's it is what it is. Like, I like using the big cameras, but then we get a lot less views on TikTok with the live streams when we do it. Ooh, I'm trying to catch up. It's fast-moving chat, especially on TikTok. Single barrel strength. Yes. Let's see. What I'm trying to... Oh, Garrison Brothers single barrel strength. Yeah, definitely. What's going on, Jordan? No, we haven't missed anything, man. We're just hanging out. We're going to talk about what I'm thinking about for the live stream here in just a minute. I want to talk about... we've been trying to figure out how to do giveaways, and there's a lot of people doing giveaways here, but they're not exactly legal. I mean, I'm not talking about necessarily like breaking laws legal, but like according to the terms of service of the platforms here, they frown upon it, and then then it may be actually illegal. I don't freaking know. So we want to stay above board and do everything the right way, and so I've been trying to figure out a way to do some giveaways. And we're going to talk about how I figured out how to do it. And it's not genius or anything, but it's going to be fun. Like the Old Forester 1910 for the holidays. That's a great suggestion, Brian. The Old Forester. So if you're looking for a bottle to take to the holidays, 1910. Good suggestion. Way better sipper than Jack. Jack Old number 7 is not meant for sipping. Big fun. Ooh, okay. We get a lot of younger fans. I don't know how that works. I would just say I would block you if I could. I mean, not block you like negatively. You've done nothing wrong, but I'm just like, if TikTok would just ask me, I would say it's not for people under the age of 21. But they don't ask. They just show it to people. I have been having an argument with some friends on which is better, Jack Daniels or Jameson. Jack Daniels. I hope that's I hope that was your choice, because if Jameson is your choice, then you're wrong. And I don't want you to be wrong, because you're obviously pretty cool hanging out with me, but Jack Daniels is the very clear answer there. See, and even Old number 7 is better than Jameson, but not by a ton. But Jack Daniels makes all sorts of wonderful things. Oh, and West, if you could only have 5 bottles and had to get rid of everything else, what are you keeping? Okay, well, the William LaRue Weller's coming, the Pappy 15's coming. Other than that, it gets really hairy. Gets like I don't know. After that, it gets, there's a bunch of bottles I would want. Like, I like that Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. That one would be a really good one I would want to take. I would want to take that Woodford Very Fine Rare. That Barrel Bourbon Total Wine store pick I've got up there, I've been really loving lately. Bllandon Straight from the Barrel, that's pretty fire. A really nice Stag Junior, but that probably won't make the cut. That Old Carter up there, Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. That's like picking between your children, man. Just want a bottle of Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. Is it worth the hype? Yes. I mean, it's not worth the money. It's not worth like $500, $600, $700, $800, but it is freaking fantastic. BOGO, Jack Bondage, good stuff. Yes. Best affordable whiskey. Victor, tomorrow on YouTube, I'm releasing a video that are the best whiskeys I can get around here for under $30. And we're going to do a dozen of them for under 30. There's one that's kind of iffy. I put Weller Special Reserve in there. That's the only one that's hard to find for me. It's the only one that's hard to find. And it's like, realistically, you're going to get it for under 30. Probably not. But it's what I said it was around 20. I think it's like a $25 MSRP. But most of the time you're going to pay more than that. Parrot Head, I have tried Caribou Crossing, but it's store pick. Didn't love it. Uncle Nearest, I love the story. Love what they're doing. I haven't loved the whiskey yet, though. Catch up over here on YouTube. The Costco eggnog wine thing is okay. That doesn't sound good. Bourbon to eggnog. Yeah. We're going to do some eggnog videos here soon. we've got them on the list. I've just got to get some eggnog and start doing, because a lot of folks requested fireball and eggnog and different things like that. So we're gonna try to test all that. So you say Evan Williams makes eggnog bourbon. Now, what Evan Williams makes is eggnog with bourbon already in it. It's not an eggnog bourbon. It's not an eggnog flavored bourbon. It's white. It's not clear or brown like a bourbon and flavored, unless you've seen something that I have not seen. Michael says $119. What am I don't know what I missed there. Yeah, Jordan, you didn't miss anything. Did I already read that? Lord, I'm losing my mind. Don't tell my wife I said that, because she'll believe it. Screwball and root beer is pretty good. I just can't get on board, man. I just cannot get on board. What are we drinking tonight? You said Legend. You talking to me? Or is there somebody in the chat named Legend? I'm drinking Dr. Pepper Zero tonight. I'm going to take it easy tonight. Any uniquely cool shaped bottles you can show us, Jack says. Okay, I'll grab a few. Nice looking bottles. Now, some of these may not show as well on camera. Some of them will. We'll go with the ones I think will show well on camera. So, this is probably my favorite bottle right here. This is Old Fitz right there. And then, of course, Old Forester has the birthday bourbon in the little squatty bottle. Mine's all dusty because it's been sitting up there without me drinking it. So you've got these dusty Old Forester bottles. What else have we got? Obviously Blanton's. Everybody knows what that looks like. I don't need to grab that, do I? What else is like uniquely cool and different? I really love these Jack Daniels bottles. These they use them for like the barrel proof and stuff, but for this Coy Hill as well, like I think that's a gorgeous bottle. Otherwise, you get kind of these are not the coolest bottles in the world, but they're pretty good branding. Like the Bowman is a horseshoe shape, so it's like an upside down horseshoe. Some nice bottles like this bottle from Castle and Key. This Castle and Key bottle is actually much nicer in person than I thought it was just looking at it online. It's really solid glass, got a nice thick base. It's got like a little gold medallion in there and a really nice heavy stopper. And then this Frey Ranch is very similar, like another really heavy bottle with some cool ribs and designs and the logo in there. So those are some cool ones. Hopefully that was enough for you. Caribou Crossing is a nice bottle. Mine's a store pick. So I don't know if it's got a little off-putting flavor. I don't know if the off-putting flavor is the store pick though. So I'm trying to not judge it. I'm trying to not bash it, but I just didn't like it at all. Didn't like it. Cherry Coke it is. Nothing wrong with Cherry Coke, Jordan. What is a good bourbon or whiskey for beginners? Randy, we have a video on the YouTube channel where I did my top 5 bourbons for beginners. So, Wild Turkey 101, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, and a lot of them really, a lot of it's going to overlap with the under 30. Buffalo Trace, if you can get it's a good one. One you could probably go get right now. Be easy for you to find. Go get you an Old Forester 86 proof and start there. How is the Dr. Pepper Zero? It's pretty freaking good, man. I mean, it's for something that has no calories in it, pretty freaking good. Jumping in late, been baking chocolate bourbon pecan pie. That sounds pretty freaking good. TikTok. All right, I missed a bunch. Sorry about that. What's the best bourbon you've drank? Again, the William LaRue Weller. Yeah, the Castle and Key's good looking. I don't have a few. I don't have a Green River. The oldest I've ever had is probably, 23 years old. Cole watching from his police cruiser. I swear, officer, I'm innocent. Yeah, James, I've had some of the little books. I like them. As far as like the higher proof Jim Beam type stuff, I really like the Baker's 7. So that's kind of my go-to in that realm. Booker's is good. I just don't drink a lot of it. The little book is pretty good stuff too. I've only had one. I've only had one, and I like it. But it's not something I just buy every time I see it. Picked up a Yellowstone 2022 limited edition for about $100. I had the Yellowstone limited edition from a few years ago. I'm assuming it's the same bottle. Yeah, young Dr. Pepper Zero's good stuff. Blanton's, I literally just did a review of Blanton's over on YouTube. I like it. It's a middle of the road bourbon though. Like I'd say it's exactly what bourbon is supposed to taste like. And the reason I say that is because there's nothing particularly off-putting about it. And so a very wide variety of taste palates will find it an appealing bourbon. It has a, decent mouthfeel. It, has some nice sweet flavors that I really like in a bourbon. And so it's exactly what bourbon's supposed to taste like. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to love it or it's exactly what I'm looking for. It's the best bourbon in the world, but it is a good middle-of-the-road bourbon that most people are going to enjoy. All right, back over on YouTube. Let's see. Balvenie Double Wood 12-year. I have not had that. I have a Balvenie Caribbean cask, but haven't tried Creek Water, Wild Turkey 101, and Olivia Series 5. I don't know what is that. It's not Olivia. It's Oliva. I don't know what that is. Let me know what that is. Getting ready to crack my Jack Daniel's Gold. Hey, pour it. Let me know what you think about it. Tried a Yellowstone single barrel pick, and it had a lot of heat for 109 proof. Hey, sometimes they just come out like that. Sometimes they come out hot. Just made Uncle Nate mad. What did I say? I'm always saying something to make Uncle Nate mad. Drinking Blue Note Juke Joint Uncut. What do you think? I think it's a good whiskey. I've tried it, but I don't own a bottle. I want to say somebody sent me a sample of that one. Widow Jane Decadence. David, let me know about that one too. I haven't tried that one. That's one of the few Widow Janes I haven't tried. Jameson Barrel Strength right from the distillery is off the charts. If we're talking special releases, Jameson might bring it. But just the normal stuff, not a huge fan. Michael Douglas having some Whistle Pig piggyback. Back to TikTok, Mountain Dew Zero. I need to try that. I've never tried it. Ooh, Midwinter Nights Dram. Bunch of finished ryes. Not my thing. I don't hate it, but I'm not a fanboy of it either. Now, I've tried like 2 or 3 of them. And so there may be some of them that are just wonderful, but they're just not what I typically am looking for in a whiskey. Elijah Craig 8-year private barrel today. Nice. Good one. Do you do any bourbon meetups? We're going to. I'm going to some other people's meetups and get-togethers next year, but we're talking about maybe doing one here in Opelika as well. I got to find time, right? So up until March, completely booked. And I don't really want to do it when it's super cold around here, so we may try to find some time in the spring to have a get-together. Here's my problem, if I'm just being honest with y'all. We've been growing like crazy since like June, July, really early July is when we really started going crazy. And so when I plan something, like right now, I've ordered Brusel Glencairns. So I ordered the Glencairn glasses like this with the Brewzle logo on them. Now we did the logo where it's right at a 2-ounce pour. So you just pour it up right to the bottom of the logo. And I'm still waiting on mock-ups, but I should have these in a week or so. But it's like, I have no freaking clue how many to buy. Like, I don't know. Like, we get a lot of views, but a lot of them are shorts. A lot of them are younger people that don't spend money on things. And so, like, I don't know if I need a case of them, 10 cases of them, like, just no freaking clue, right? We've never really tried to sell anything. So, don't know, right? I'm buying a barrel of whiskey. Sunday, I'm going to Louisville. On Monday, we're going to do the barrel pick with 5 of our supporters, patrons, and channel members and things. And so but that's going to be like 150, 200 bottles of whiskey. I don't know if I'm going to end up with 100 bottles of whiskey that I got to store back here somewhere, if they're all going to sell in about 2 minutes. No freaking clue. So when we do a meetup, like, I don't know if I'm going to have 4 people there, if it's going to be like a birthday party nobody shows up to, or if it's going to be like 1,000 people. Like, we just have no freaking context to try to ground any of that stuff, so it makes it very nervous. Widow Jane, the Vault 14. Nice. Nice. Basil Hayden toast. It was great. Like I said, I just bought the Basil Hayden toast. I haven't opened it yet. That's going to be in a video. I'll probably open it tomorrow when we film a video. Oliver V is a cigar. Okay, I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't smoke a lot of cigars. Every once in a while when I'm around other cigar smokers, I'll smoke a cigar. But it's not something I do a lot here, just because I can't do it in the house, and my wife doesn't want me to pick up other bad habits. Tasting notes of my drink. I would say it has at least 23 flavors. Isn't that what Dr. Pepper claims? I don't know, man. It's just kind of a weird sweetness. Like, realistically, fat people tend to crave sweet things, and this is the only sweet thing I can have with no calories in it. Not my favorite thing in the whole world, but it's sweet. It has no calories in it. Smoke Wagon bottle is nice. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, too. Really good bottle. Should have brought that one out. Alter Ego Cash Strength is working. If I see any Doc Swinson's, I'll pick it up. I did just pick up some Doc Swinson's. I don't even know what it is. It's in the back. So what does it mean when they say top shelf? Normally somebody keeps the really hard to find, really expensive whiskeys on the top shelf. That's all that really means, is usually you just store your good stuff on the top shelf. Because you're not getting, in a bar, you're not getting that down as much because it's expensive, right? So you're going to have your whiskeys, which are just the ones that are at the bar that the bartender's using. If you just order a bourbon and Coke, they're going to use the well drink, right? Whatever the cheap whiskey is they've got at the bar. The top shelf is going to be the high-end stuff. What bourbon am I picking from? We're getting one from Barrel Craft Spirits. So we're gonna do, like, I really love this. Let me grab this bottle. This was a bottle somebody gave me that was a shock to me. It was a surprise. Like, I'd had some stuff from Barrel, and I didn't love it at the time. Now, that I do like the Vantage. The Vantage is kind of new. This was before the Vantage. But somebody gave me this one, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then I tried it, and I'm like, oh, my goodness. It's a store pick from Total Wine called Grandma's Peach Pie. And I have thoroughly enjoyed this bottle. I got this bottle this year, and I never finish a bottle in the first year unless we're making mixed drinks with it or something. So the fact that I've drank through this one in a year, or at this point, probably 7 months, 6 months, means that I really enjoyed it. So I've told them this is kind of what I want to go for, like this line, and this is a blend. So it's not a single barrel. This is a blend of, like, what is it? I can't even see. 5-year, 10-year, 14-year, and a 16-year blended at different ratios to create this private release. So we're going to do something similar. They're supposed to have, like, we're taking 5 supporters. Like I said, patrons, channel members, live subscribers on TikTok. We just went in the Discord, asked who could go and wanted to. Picked from that group in the Discord. And we're going to go up, and they're supposed to have, I don't know how many. They told me. I forgot. I think maybe 6, 7, 8 different ones that we can choose from. Steve, what's going on, man? I like Peerless a lot. I like Peerless. All I've had is small batch, but no. Hey, Julio, I have not had the Dr. Pepper limited edition bourbon flavor. We did a video on it. They never sent it. Never heard from them. Mason, thanks for the gifts there, man. So JC, that's what we're talking about, doing our own special release, and we're still trying to figure out the logistics of where it's going to be, how much it's going to cost, like all of that. The goal is if we can sell this barrel, first thing I'm going to do is just turn around and buy another barrel. Like, we're going to, I'd love to do one barrel every single month, but we've got to figure out, what store it's getting shipped to, how much that costs. Can we not go broke doing it? Can we sell them? These are just all unknown things to me. I'm just some dude that talks about bourbon on the freaking internet, and the fact that somebody would want to buy a bottle that I picked, or that me and some supporters picked, is cool. But it's just, until it happens, I still don't believe it. Oscar's in Tupelo, Mississippi. Their store pick. All right. 1792, 12 years, probably my favorite 1792, actually. I like that one. I'm not a huge fan of most of the 1792 stuff. I don't dislike it. It's just fine, right? Although I hear great things from other folks, like bourbon junkies tend to love the 1792s. They got one they didn't really like. So I'm just wondering if maybe the ones I've had are just okay, and maybe there's really good ones out there. Like, I don't know. I need to get some more of them and try them, but Lord, it's hard to buy whiskey you just think's okay. Ben, thank you. I appreciate it. What's going on, Nitro? JD single barrel proof, surprisingly smooth for being 130 proof. Yeah, Jack Daniels knows how to do high proof stuff. What's the dollar per? I don't even know what that symbol is, Tony. No freaking clue. Woodford Reserve Country Roads. Have not had that. The drink tester. People say I got a drinking problem. We'll find new people. Anthony, yes. Got a few behind me there on the top shelf. Starlight Family Reserve coming up. 8.5-year rye. Interesting. I'm doing good, Steve. Doing good. Appreciate it, Alan. Thank you. Larceny. Larceny Barrel Proof. I haven't been a huge fan of them. So it'd been a couple of years, and I just got was it B522, and it actually ranked really high in our review. Like, it did really, really well. Like, it's like a cinnamon graham cracker flavor. Like, it's just really delicious. So love the barrel proof stuff from them this year, the one I had. Monthly meets at ZZ's. I mean, we may do, I don't know about monthly meets, but yeah, we do need to get together. Honestly, we need to get together. We've got a bunch of folks that are semi-local here. So I thought about starting a bourbon club. Like, I literally was looking the other day, and if I had the money, I've got my eye on a building. Got my eye on a building, and I was like, and it's a pretty cheap building, but a fixer-upper. And it's like, if I could just come up with the revenue to buy the building and maybe just turn it into the Brusel Bourbon Club, and we just, we can store bottles there, and, maybe have lockers for people to have their bottles, make it, smoke, you have a cigar, you hang out, put a bar in there, and, basically build our own little club where we could just have a monthly meetup, or, every other weekend, or, folks could just go in there and do what they want with it. So just, you have a membership, and you're in, and you can just, go open it up and drink and have a good time. That would be a lot of fun. I just need the revenue. I don't know what it'd take to buy that building at this point. It's not for sale, but I might could work a deal on. The ones that are for sale are always too expensive around here. So, what? No calories, Dr. Pepper Zero. Yeah, it's got no calories, zero sugar. God knows it's not making me fatter, but it's probably killing me in some other way. Picked up a bunker bottle of Doc Swenson's Blender's Cut. I'll go back there in a minute and see if I can grab that Doc Swenson's I just bought. I don't think it's Blender's Cut, but I don't know what it is. Why are you having a hard time getting Evan Williams bottle in Bond? I don't know. It's everywhere here. Like, it's literally everywhere. Cody's been a viewer for a while and haven't asked, what's your absolute favorite bourbon? It's all right, Cody. I do get asked that question a lot, and it is William LaRue Weller, Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. Alan says, why can't I find Buffalo Trace? I don't know where you're at, Alan, but it is literally everywhere right now. Only good mix for salted caramel crown is coffee. Interesting. I had somebody hit me up. I think I heard that maybe they're discontinuing the salted caramel crown. I'm not a huge fan of those. Like, they make fine mixed drinks, and they can be delicious. Just not things that I normally drink. But my son, who helps us with the content, Brusel Will, who was over on YouTube a minute ago, he tends to like my reaction to them. So he keeps buying them or having me buy them to make those videos. So let me know if y'all like those. Did a blind tasting with Old Rip, Weller 107, and 7 of 8 picked the 107. Okay, so if you've got the Old Rip, you're talking about the 10-year, right? So the Old Rip 10 years, 107 proof. The Weller Antique's 107 proof. They're both wheaters from Buffalo Trace, pretty much the same whiskey. Right, so that Rip's probably a little older, being 10 years old. I don't know exactly the age on the 107, but yeah, so you may have not you may not prefer the slight more oakiness on it, right? Slight more age to it. Is Jefferson's Oceans overrated? I don't think it's particularly highly rated. So I would say no. Some of the batches are actually really delicious. Some of them, meh. I have tried the Weller single barrel. I had a couple of pours of it in Vegas when I was there a few weeks ago for the first time. Tried it for the first time in Vegas. Pretty good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I haven't tried it against the other ones, but Bryn, what's the best affordable whiskey? Dude, go to YouTube, youtube.com/Brewzle. Subscribe over there if you want. You ain't got to. But I literally have a video dropping tomorrow with my top whiskeys you can get for under $30. And we've got a dozen of them that you can get under $30 that I think are pretty good pours. What's my favorite non-bourbon or whiskey drink that you order from a bar? I don't, none. No, a beer. Probably a banquet, Coors Banquet. Barrel Seagrass is like that too, Nitro says. Those Dr. Pepper bourbon sodas are selling on eBay for $80. I'll buy one for $80, James. I'd pay, no, I won't. I won't pay $80 for one. I might pay $10 for a soda. Is it a single soda for $80? I mean, that's like a bottle of whiskey, and I need it for the video. Like, I need it for the video, but I just can't pay $80 for it. I can't do it. I ran my mouth, and I immediately backtracked. Immediately backtracked. Not to mention distributors work on their own schedule, so you could pick now, but it'll take 3 months. Yeah. So when this barrel is going to be at least January before we get it, the one we're going to pick on Monday, like next Monday, a week from today, we'll be picking it, and it'll be at least January, maybe February before we have it. So makes it kind of hard to prepare. At least they, and it could go longer than that. Like, you don't really know. You have no input over when it actually ships to you. There's a store in Forsyth, Georgia that I would love. Well, tell me about it. I want a bottle of the barrel pick. Hey, make sure get in the Discord. Just check the description of any video, including this one. It's probably in the description of this live stream. Over on TikTok, it's in the bio. You jump in there, and you should be able to. That's where we'll announce it. And then we're going to do a video. We're obviously going to do a video so everybody will know. So if you watch the content regularly, you should know about it because I need it sold so bad. I hope it sells so fast. I wish we would have bought 2. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see. What do we got here? Trying to make sure I'm all caught up or as caught up as I can be. I'm a little behind. Let me power through these right there. Is there going to be a $2,500 entrance fee? Hey, if there was a $2,500 entrance fee, I could afford the building. But no. I don't know how that would work, right? Like, I don't know. Like, what benefit would make it worth it? The problem is most of the people I know, like, most of y'all are not local. Now, we could have a meetup here regularly and have a building to do it, but realistically, we could have a meetup at the distillery. I could talk to him, and I'm sure he would let us use his space. So, but I'm just thinking like a space that we can go and hang out. The Bourbon Club guy. So let's talk about this. Last week, we, and I apologize for being behind in the chat. I'll try to catch up. But last week, we streamed with a guy that had a Bourbon Heads, bourbonheads.com, BK, Brett from Bourbon Heads, and he has a $2,500 entrance fee into a bourbon club. And so they're going to take like $3 million of the money that they raise, and they're going to buy limited, allocated, hard to find whiskey with it. And then there's going to be a bunch of money left over. And that money is going to go towards building them a facility. All of that's going to go toward down payments for them to get loans to build a facility somewhere on the Bourbon Trail, and then a series of for-profit restaurant speakeasies around the country, to where, if you remember, you could just go drink some whiskey, and it's a one-time fee, and you're in it, and it's an NFT, so you could sell it, like you could sell your share. And a lot of folks, we're thinking it's a Ponzi scheme, and anytime you hear NFT or crypto, that's the default go-to, right? Ponzi scheme. And again, I'm not endorsing the club. I'm going to tell you my exact thoughts on it. One, if you're looking at it as an investment vehicle, if you're looking at it that I'm going to spend $2,500, which a lot of people think an NFT is going to go up in value and we're going to make a bunch of money on it. Realistically, almost all NFTs are worth nothing these days compared to what they were when you bought them. So if you're looking at it as an investment vehicle, I'm going to spend money, and this bourbon, we're going to buy a bunch of bourbon and it's going to go up and I'm going to sell it at a profit. This is not for you. This is not a good investment vehicle. Like you stand very little chance of getting your $2,500 back as an investment. You make the ticket may, or the NFT, the membership, because there's only so many, may go up in value and you could then sell that. Or at some point they may liquidate the whiskey if it all fails and you might get some of that back. But realistically, if it fails, they're going to have debtors, they're going to have creditors, that money's going to go to them before it goes to any of y'all. Where it is interesting though, that doesn't make it a bad buy. What's interesting about it from my perspective is, they're using it to build these for-profit businesses. So they definitely going to benefit from your money to build these businesses. But these businesses are what will fuel what I think is the interesting thing about the idea, in that you will have these speakeasies around the country where you could go have really, really hard to find bourbon. Now, if I'm an individual like I am, and I'm thinking I just want to go have a few good pours, still probably not worth $2,500 to me, because I just would probably rarely ever go. Unless there's one in my backyard, I'd probably just rarely ever go. Still not a good investment. What it makes it interesting for me as a small business owner, we're always, we do e-commerce. We build websites that sell things. So we're out in Vegas. We're, we've got clients there. We've got potential clients there. If they had one of these and I could take a potential client or a client to this that's into bourbon and have them try stuff that's, $5,000 bottles and, just try whiskeys that they would never be able to get their hands on, like, realistically, that's worth $2,500 to me. Like, I would have to have 2 or 3 of these for that kind, because I'm almost always having to carry 4 or 6 people to something like that. And so, from like a corporate sponsorship type of situation, if it works, it's actually going to be really cool. Like they gave me one. I didn't have to buy one, but if from a corporate standpoint, if they actually make the speakeasies, I'm going to use it. Like I'm going to get more than $2,500 worth of value out of it. The problem right now is, as early as they are, you are putting a lot of trust in the fact that they are actually going to execute and get there, right? Like they just don't have it. It is vaporware at this point. They are still trying to figure it out. And so, once they get all their money, once they start building these things, like you just have to have faith that they're going to be able to execute. And I wished in that we would have went more into the for-profit businesses, because I don't know the team behind that. I don't know their history. I don't know their ability to execute on that. And so they may, do it with flying colors. It may be a struggle. Like all of these things are always harder than they seem. So I think it has some merit. I don't think it's a scam. Now there are some holes in the business model that either they got to figure out, or we got, like, I didn't understand, how, like, realistically the bourbon is always going to be depleted as you move it from the collection to the selection that you can drink. And like, it really depends on that getting replenished, depends on these bottles continuing to go up, and nothing goes up forever. So there's some holes there, but I'm not saying it's a scam. I'm just saying there's some business model things they're going to have to figure out as they go through. I mean, I've got a million ideas every week that are only half baked. This one's pretty well baked, but it still looks like it might need to be in the oven for just a little while longer. So it's interesting from that perspective. All right, I rambled on that a long time. Hopefully that gave you an idea of what I was thinking. Have you had Heaven's Door? Yes. Pretty good stuff. I like it. Once you pick the barrel, how do we buy a bottle? That's what we've still got to figure out, Nasty. So I'm going to create a video. Here's the thing. Be in the Discord, because, and I'm going to talk about the live stream here in a second, and we'll talk about this more. But it is against the terms of service of these platforms for me to tell you where to buy a bottle of whiskey. So if I told you to go here and get one, That is against the terms, 100% against the terms of service on YouTube and a little gray on TikTok. So you want this cap right here? This is the mesh back trucker hat. You get one at Brusel.com. Brusel.com. Got that in some t-shirts. Should be a link in the bio. I've not tried Pendleton Canadian whiskey, or I really don't have a lot of Dusties, or really any Dusties whiskey GPS. I haven't been lucky enough to find any. I need to get into more Dusties. I'll be honest with you. I need that in my life. What's your time? I can't even talk. I'm not even drinking. I can't talk. See, this is evidence that sometimes I just can't talk. Top 5 whiskeys under $50. Wild Turkey Rare Breed. I'm going to say you can regularly get, because under $50 means you can usually get it with no secondary markup. I don't think some people can get Woodford Double Oak for under $50, I believe. I cannot. So y'all, does Woodford Double Oak count? Can anybody here get it for under $50? Alabama's just kind of expensive. Other than that, some of this benchmark stuff is actually really good. I'm going to leave off the Buffalo Trace and the Eagle Rare because you can't get those. Let's see. Wild Turkey 101, pretty good at that price point. I think that's 5. So we're going to go with it. $100 or less, my favorite whiskey, $100 or less. That's a weird price point for me. Probably some of these MGP barrel proof stuff. I really like them. The Dude Network, what's going on, man? William Leach, I haven't seen the lottery list. Somebody just told me when I went live a minute ago. Literally haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to be looking at that. We'll be talking about that. So when I get off of this live stream, I'm going to jump in the Discord. We're going to get into a voice chat. And I'm going to look at the lottery list, and we can talk about it over there. So make sure you're in the Discord. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to jump over there. Yes, 80 to 100, one can. Okay, so I'm way behind over here on YouTube. I apologize. No bourbon. Am I switching to rum? Nah, I'm just Dr. Pepper Zero, man. I'm just trying to cut back, Talesh. Cut back. I've been consuming more than I like to here lately. So I just decided, can I do a live stream? This is a test. Here's one thing I want to, we're trying to figure out with this channel. Realistically, I don't know. My team, I've got a couple people that help me with the content, and they're telling me that you guys, people watch the channel for me. I'm trying to figure out how to say that without sounding conceited, but y'all watch the channel for me, and the topics almost are irrelevant. I mean, they got to be something that interests you, but so if we just do a dumb video, that's not going to work. But we got people that don't drink that watch all the videos, so they're obviously not that interested in the thing that I'm doing as much as how I'm doing it. And so we're also concerned long term about the viability of alcohol content on these platforms. Like, there's already some rumblings that the government may be kind of coming down on them to kind of stop or slow down the pushing of alcohol content. So realistically, would you still watch if I weren't doing alcohol content? Like, I don't know. And so, this was a good test, and I didn't feel like drinking. So it's just like, can we sit and hang out and have a good time and chat without me having a drink or trying one? So Steve, recommend a decent whiskey. Again, we've been talking about Woodford Double Oak all night, man. Grab it. Grab a Woodford Double Oak, give one. I don't know, outside of that, like, that's probably pretty safe. Just about everybody's going to like that one. Cheapest, smoothest for a beginner. Old Forester 86 proof. I've had Jameson, but not with root beer. I love everything Michter's, Dalton. If Michter's would just pay me in bourbon, I'd just wear a Michter's hat all the time in these. Brett was in BTAC heaven. Yeah, for sure. And some of those he sent me were absolutely fantastic. First time I tried several of them. It sounds like it's not a Ponzi scheme. Now, you can say it's not a good investment. You could say it's a scam. Completely with you if you believe that, right? You have the right to believe that. Ponzi's the word I disagree with. Ponzi is a common thing in crypto, But Ponzi requires that you have new investors all the time to pay off the old investors to keep the scheme going. And then it all deflates when you can't sufficiently get in new investors. They're not doing that. They're limiting it to a certain number. So definitely not a Ponzi scheme. Now you could call it whatever you want outside of that. I'm not defending it at all. Just saying Ponzi is not the right word, right? That's why he has them for sale. Understand. That's why I stop at basically every liquor store. Yeah, I don't get to hunt as much as I used to. The club is interesting. The sustainability of it is the question. Yeah, Doc, that's exactly my thing. It'll launch. I think he'll launch it. If he sells the tokens, he'll launch it. Will it stay in business? Will it stay going? Don't know. Like, there's some questions there. I really think the for-profit businesses are going to have to support the collection, and it didn't sound like they were going to support the locations, but not the actual purchasing of more alcohol, and I think it's going to have to for it to work. So I don't know. I feel like we need to do our own club, much cheaper, much simpler, with a much better business model. Would make a lot more sense if the NFTs held an ownership position in the for-profit businesses. I agree. Like, they should. If they're paying the down payments, if they're making 20%, then they should own 20%, right? But you're not taking any of the risk. You're not taking any of the liability outside of that initial investment, right? So make it 5%, right? You made 20% of the money. Make it 5%. And then maybe that 5% goes to buy bottles. You don't actually get a cut, but the 5% goes to buy more bottles. And I think that would make it possibly work really well as long as those businesses were profitable. The problem you're going to run into with any business like that is the word profit, right? Any business can be made not profitable pretty easily. And so if they just wanted to show no profits, it's not hard to do. You pay people a little too much. You take a draw for working there, even though you're the owner, and pretty soon there's no profits to be distributed to anybody. So if you don't have any sort of say-so in the accounting and how the money's distributed, then saying you're going to get 5%, realistically, there's 1,000 ways around that. Pick me up at Evan Williams and a benchmark eggnog. I haven't tried the benchmark eggnog. I need to get one. I'm going to do some eggnog content here pretty soon, so... Mark, 1792, 12-year, pretty tasty, goes good with pumpkin pie. Any recommendations for a bourbon to pair with chocolate pecan pie? So what are we going to try to pair with chocolate pecan pie? Like, you don't want something chocolatey because you've already got the chocolate. So, I don't like the rye spot. Larceny Barrel Proof B522. Maybe, I don't know. Cause that's like very, to me, that whiskey is very like kind of cinnamon graham cracker. Like, that's a good go with a sweet dessert. Don't know if the chocolate though is what's going to hit there. I mean, that double oaked would be good, right? The oak and the vanilla would be good with it. Right there, Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea Voyage 22 or a Michter's would be very caramel forward to me, and I think that would go really well with a chocolate dessert. That's what I would pick. Is Rebel Yell 100, Rebel 100 the same? Yes. So they dropped the Yell for some reason. 55 for you? Okay, so it doesn't count. A Nutty Beam would pair. That's a good Noah. That's actually a good suggestion. So a Nutty Jim Beam, like go get that Baker's 7. Do that. Angel's Envy. I'm not a huge fan of port wine finishes, Gene. But as far as port wine finishes go, like, I don't dislike them. They're just okay. And so, but as far as port wine finishes go, I really like Angel's Envy. It's really easy sipper. I think the port wine finish on it's very subtle, and so it's nice. MBSC, visiting with a friend of mine here at Opelika. I'll join if and when you have a launch. When I'm launching the thing, the club, which friend of mine are you visiting here in Opelika? I probably could guess. I don't have a ton of friends, so it's pretty easy to narrow it down. Noah, yeah, I got the Nutty Beam. You like it better when I'm drinking? I'm sorry about that, user. I apologize. You know, but you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Old tub bonded. Oof. Okay, I'll go with you on it. I mean, the Jim Beam, I don't know if I'd go with the old tub, but do you have a trustworthy website to buy bourbon from? Again, Steve, I can't even tell you it's against the terms of service. I know a lot of people here do, but I am trying very hard to not get in any sort of trouble. I like my accounts. A port aged would go with chocolate. There you go. So port wine finish. Don't drink a lot of those. Angel's Envy would be one of those. Pecan liquor with it. Woodford double oaked goes with everything. You're right. You're right, Brian. All right, trying to catch up back over here. Let's see. I need to get the Blue Note Juke Joint uncut. I wonder if we could do like a store pick from Blue Note. Like, where should we do the next Brusel pick? And I can't just do anything. We don't have that kind of clout, right? But where reasonably are you seeing store picks come from that you think we should do one? After this, if we sell all of these from Barrel Craft Spirits, what's next? Rare Breed is $60 in Ohio. I think it's like 45-ish bucks around here. Double Oaked is 55. I think it's 55 here as well. But I mean, maybe Rare Breed's gone up. It's been a while since I bought one. So as far as the Brusel bottles, you can't tell us where to buy yours, but maybe you could tell us where you get mine. Maybe, right? Like we do the Alabama ABC videos, and you know that's kind of iffy. Like it's iffy, right? Because we're at a store. So that's why we just have the Discord to have those conversations. Happy to answer. And honestly, I don't have a good place to buy them online. I need to investigate that. But in Alabama, you couldn't get them shipped to you until kind of recently. So it's the Continental. We just like to listen to me ramble. Well, I appreciate it, Jeff. I appreciate it. What's my bucket list bourbon? Man, I've been lucky enough to get most of the ones I really, really go after. I would love, like, high on my list right now, I would love a Coy Hill from this year, the little 375. I really want an Old Forester decanter bottle, a 13-year bottle in bond. Other than that, you know, the Willet Purple Tops, I really need to try those at some point. I had one in the blind the guy sent from the Bourbon Club, so that was a good bottle. I didn't love it as much as some of the other things in there, but a really good bottle. I need more Weller William LaRue's because I've been nursing on that one for 2 years, and I'm afraid to drink it. And I need a Sazerac 18. I don't even know if I like the Sazerac 18, or at least I won't love it, but it's the only BTAC I've never had. So need to try bourbon from every state. That's something we've talked about, Andrew, just buying them all. It's 50 bourbons. How did I get into this whole whiskey empire things, Isaac? So, and I've got a whole like 5-step plan to dominate the world. And it's all started through whiskey content, but I got started. So I own an e-commerce agency, right? We build websites that sell things. And our marketing was a lot of live streams, just hanging out, drink a bourbon, talk about, e-commerce, because e-commerce itself, not a super exciting topic. So we tried to liven it up a little bit, and I wanted a different bourbon every stream. So I ended up with like 20 or 25 bourbons from those live streams. And, you drink them, you put them on the shelf, and then they sit there. And so, but YouTube is kind of mean to e-commerce content, really. It's not good for it, right? People search, they have a problem, they search, they find it, they move on. You're not building any community, right? So you could, but you're building more of a tech community, not a community you're trying to spend a bunch of money to market to. So we wanted to just try something that maybe could get a little more views and have some fun with, something that I liked, that I enjoyed. So we decided to start doing some bourbon shorts. I just posted some shorts on TikTok. I went to a bourbon drop, and a couple of guys there at the bourbon drop had TikToks, and they had a few thousand followers. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I could create some shorts and post them. Train must be going by. My dogs are going nuts. I don't know if y'all can hear them. But we just decided, I decided to start cutting some shorts and posting them. Did that a few times last year. They started growing. We started getting some views. And then I bought this house. It just took, I just had to take some time off. So we bought this house at the start of 2021. And I just took 6 months off to move over here and try to get everything ready. kind of late 2021. And then June, we just started getting ready. In July, we started posting regular because it was doing so well. So, Isaac, do you ever see yourself quitting drinking completely? Well, maybe. That's a weird place to be, man. It's a weird place to be creating so much alcohol content. And honestly, sometimes I just don't really want to drink. Like I'm not somebody that really feels like the need to drink every day. So, really, I would drink maybe once a week or so. Honestly, sometimes I'd go months. I drink a little bit during football season, and I may not drink again until once football season's over, till the summer rolls around. So definitely consuming more now that we're getting really into the alcohol content. But that's the thing. Like, what if I do want to quit drinking? And here I am, at that point, maybe with a million followers on YouTube and TikTok, and like I just don't even want to do this anymore. So that's a concern. I don't think that's a problem. Like, it's not a big concern. But again, it goes back to that question of what if we didn't do alcohol content? Like, realistically, it may get shut down at some point. So, what do we talk about? I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, and if I want to quit drinking, I'll just quit drinking. Like that, we'll just pivot to something else. I like cars. I need to start doing that more. Yeah, I have an Elijah Craig 18. $600 for a CYPB is not a good price. Elijah Craig 20-year bottled in 1991. Keep it unopened or try her out. Well, now it's probably pretty close to the top of the market on that one. It's in a bubble, so if you want to sell it, but if you just want to look at it, that's cool. You're never going to get another one. So I would have to open it, but I would understand if you keep it. See about getting a SAS 18 if you can snag a WLW. I don't know if that'd be a fair trade. Yeah, Josh, visit sometime. All right, let me try to catch up here on YouTube. Elijah Craig. Yeah, I like Elijah Craig. I don't know which question that was in reference to because I'm so freaking behind, but cognac goes good with chocolate. So cognac finish. Yeah, so a cognac would be good, but what about a cognac finish bourbon? Is there a Weller I haven't had? No, that single barrel was the only one that I had not had, I believe. Now, there may be some limited special release from 10 years ago or something I haven't had, but other than that, I've had all of them as far as I know. Don't have Ocean, don't have Michter's. Yeah, so the Larceny Barrel Proof, the one I've got, the B522 is really good. I think it would go well. Said cinnamon and caramel too. Yeah, that sounds like that would go good with that. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof goes good with sweet desserts. It goes good with everything. You're right. Would I try ayahuasca? I mean, I don't know much about it. Like, I don't know much about it. So, should I try it? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it terrible? Is it bad for me? Should you try and rank bourbon? But like, realistically, most alcohols I would try, right? Most. But at the same time, I'd have to do a little research on it. Like tequila, not really my jam, rum, not really my jam. But sometimes I find some that are good. Yeah, that's Andrew. That was kind of the content, is we were going to do the best bourbon from every state and then rank them. But that's like that's a big video, and so I don't know if anybody would watch it. And we were trying to, like, the one we did for Alabama actually got a lot of views. So I think just trying the best bourbon from every state could be a good short. I don't think it would be a good long form unless we figured out a way to really run through it in a hurry. Got a few good bottles from Lux. Nice. 1012 Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Lets you find that perfect Elijah Craig. Yeah, some of those barrel proofs are good. I'm not a huge fan of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs unless I put a couple of drops of water in it. They tend to open up. I like them a lot better. How close are you getting to meet the budget for the barrel? Well, at this point, Douglas, we're 0% of the way to meeting the budget for the barrel. Like, I'm just going to have to come up with the money. Probably take out a loan or something like that to buy it, or we may do a pre-sale. I got to figure out who it's going to retailer-wise. Then we do a pre-sale, and then if we sold it out before it actually landed, then I wouldn't have to come out of pocket for anything. So we're going to try to manipulate our way into not going broke on that. But we made, I did the video where I just took all of our patrons' money and I just put it on the roulette wheel to try to, see if we could. The hope was that it would hit and I'd have like $5,000 and I could buy 10 cases of Glencairns with the Brusel logo, and then we could sell those, and that would give us enough money to then buy the barrel. That was going to be the fun video if it worked. It did not. Gambling's bad. So that was a one-off thing. Thought it would be fun. But, we made a little money on YouTube, a little money on TikTok, but definitely not enough to put a dent in the barrel. And most of that's going to, to fund just like some of the bottles we need for videos and getting Maggie ready to take some of these road trips, some of these bourbon road trips. Adam, at Break But Here. Anyone else have a hard time finding the live? I had to go to a live page, really? It should be right there on the Brewzle homepage, but they just don't promote it that well, man. I don't understand. Opportunity to get a Stag Van Winkle highly sought after bourbons. Are they worth the price? They're not worth the secondary price. No, they're delicious. They're fantastic, but they're not worth thousands of dollars. No. Yeah, if you're sub with notifications on, that sure helps me out a whole bunch. But also, I need to do a better job of promoting it. I really do. We're going to start booking these ahead of time. I don't know, for a while, like in December, I may dial it back to one time a week for a while, just because we're going to put so much effort into that one. Like, we're really going to try to escalate these live streams. And so we're gonna talk about that in a second. But it's so much effort's going to go into it. I may just dial it back to once a week, and then once we kind of get that rolled out, we'll come back to twice a week. Ever tried Old Smoky peanut butter whiskey? Have not. What do you think? Do you have Driftless Glen Wheated? No. Happy to help me with the birthday bourbon? Oh, no. That one won't go down the drain. That's one of my faves. We got YouTube and TikTok going live right now, so I swap back and forth. What's my go-to sipping bourbon? Weller Antique 107. You need to try Dr. Pepper Cream Soda, zero sugar. I want to say I've tried that, and it was pretty good. I want to say I've tried it. These are the ones my wife buys, so that's what I drink. I don't know anything about Black Steel. Is that the one from the dude, Dr. Disrespect? I think that's the one from Dr. Disrespect. I have a friend who ordered the bottle for me, but it's on back order, so we don't know when it'll come in. Bourbon is a whiskey, Alan. User, again, YouTube and TikTok live at the same time, man. I just swap back and forth. I apologize if it gets confusing. I used to say on YouTube, I got a little lazy there. I'm sorry. K-Barbs loves the idea of the best bourbon from every state on TikTok. Angry Bear on TikTok. Mix your small batch is fantastic. It'd be an awesome YouTube series, 4 or 5 states per video. I like that. So we do regions, and then we battle them, and then we move them up, right? So 50 states. We could do, I'd have to figure out how to break that down into a bracket, and then you do brackets and then move them up. That might actually work there, McAllister. New mic sounds good. Thank you. The other mic is fantastic, but out here in this room, it just picks up too much. It's got an echo. Like, it's just really, really bad news. So I went to this guy. It just picks up a lot less background noise and echo and stuff. Jefferson's Ocean Voyage 22, JR, on TikTok. Jumping back over on YouTube. Ayahuasca is a psychedelic drink. It can last up to 6 hours. Yeah, I thought it might be something like that. And I don't know, man. I try to stay away from stuff like that because you just never can tell how you're going to react to it. Yeah, I know. Bourbon stream without bourbon. It's weird, man. It's weird. But we talk about bourbon. Yeah, I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't going to say because some people come in here and ask me questions just to trip me up. Where did I locate the Old Fort? That is actually the 2020 release I got from the lottery in the state of Alabama 2 years ago. Old Smoky peanut butter is super smooth, but doesn't taste like a liquor. That's a lot of those. That is a lot of those. Looks like we got a little spam over on the YouTubes. Just go ahead and report that person there and get them out of there. Oh, there's more than one of them. Lord have mercy. Luckily, the spam filters on YouTube caught it, though. Normally, they're like one, and they just post 3 or 4, but that was like 3 or 4 of them in a freaking row there from different folks. Yeah, I know the bots. Couldn't you do a pre-sale on the Glens? Yeah, we could, but I want to get the first ones in to check quality. So once I get the first box of Glens in, we're just going to start selling them because they did tell me they could get them to me in a week. So if you ordered a Glen and I was out, it'd just take me a week to get another case. Like once they're set up with the logo, we've got an approved design, they can pump them out really quickly. So I'm just buying one case for now. I've ordered that case. I literally emailed them today and paid for it. They're still mocking up the artwork. And then those Glencairns hopefully will be here next week when I get back from this barrel pick, I hope. And then we'll drop them on the website and then we'll just leave them up. And once we run out, we'll just order more kind of thing, right? I made it when I've got bots. Oh man, we got some clout now. You get the 2 times. Yeah, I did. I think I did get. Well, I mean, it's been ordered, but it's back ordered, so I don't know if we'll ever get it. Antique 107 is hot. I mean, it's hot, like good, and it's got a little spice to it there. You know, a little bite. Don't drink a lot of Bullet. Not really a big fan of Calumet 10. It's been a while since I've had Calumet 10. I like the older stuff though, the 15, 16. Haven't had Crown Royal 18 over on TikTok. What's going on, Bully? I done got high tech, got fancy schmancy, man. Best whiskey for an old fashioned. We go through a lot of ancient age 10 star. That's my wife's favorite. I prefer a Michter's Rye. Have you tried Horse Soldier Commander Select 12 year? I have not. Series on foreign whiskeys. Yeah, Michael, it's on the list. We're going to do it. It's on the list. We haven't got to it yet, but probably early next year. Wino bourbon tonight. Just didn't feel like drinking at them. I stayed up and jumped on somebody's stream last night and drank some and drank a little too much. I started finishing a bottle, and then I finished it. And then there was another bottle almost empty, and then I finished that one. And then there was another bottle almost empty, and I finished that one. There wasn't a lot in any of them, but it still was just too much. I'm like, I just don't want any more today. Like, I just don't, sometimes you just don't feel like drinking. Sometimes I just don't feel like drinking. So, we're doing the stream twice a week. I'm filming content. Right now I'm having to film content over a couple of days. We're not organized enough. Will's out of town. So we're not organized enough to batch them. I'm filming 2 or 3 days a week, and it's just like, I don't want to drink 5, 6, 7 days a week. Dr. Pepper and Wild Turkey Honey Sting. Nice. Salted caramel vanilla Coke. I'll have to give that a try. Any good scotch? Don't drink scotch. Cheeks. When can you buy and can you ship? Yeah, the Glens are going to be shipped. If you're talking about the Glencairn, the little Glencairn glasses, right? And they're going to be like this with the Brusel logo. You'll be able to buy them on Brewzle.com. We're going to do a video when I get them in, so you should see the video about the best bourbon glasses. And then those will be available. And, of course, we'll post them in the Discord. And then, obviously, the barrel pick, you should be able to ship that as well to most states when we get that in. Think a bourbon should team up with you to promote. Think you would do a great job for them. Thank you, man. That would be cool. Best beginner bourbon. We've got a whole video over on YouTube with like my top 5 bourbons for beginners. YouTube.com/Brewzle. Haven't had Blue Label. I'm assuming you're talking about Johnny Walker. The Old Elk Wheated I've got's really good there, Jerry Scott. I don't know if yours is a wheated. Back to YouTube. I just heard about it, and it's still available in some places, but they're local distributed on the Black Steel. And so, like, it depends on what state you're in as to whether or not it's available right now. Just picked up a Middle West Wheated. Haven't had it. How many in a case? 72. Yep, Smokey's got it. 72 Glens in a case. So, again, we'll just take orders, but the first 72 I'll ship out, and then we'll just wait till the next cases come in. And so I might, we sold one case. I'll probably use that money to buy two, kind of thing. Just bring them in and just sell them for at least double what it costs me to have them made, and then we can buy two, and then we sell those. I can buy four, and I'll just keep them in stock at that point. What's going on, Albert? Fox over on YouTube, sweet bourbons with less cherry flavor or wheated, typically cherry flavor forward. Not always. Like Buffalo Trace wheated, the Weller stuff is to me. But like a Larceny is not very cherry forward to me, especially not the barrel proof stuff. And it's wheated. Sipping on some Old Forester 86 proof, Douglas on YouTube says. Thanks for hanging out with me, and that's a good pour. Rare Breed versus Woodford Double Oaked comparison. Very different whiskey there, Alan. So Woodford Double Oaked is going to be oakier, right? It's got a lot of oakiness, but it's kind of a sweet oak. It's not a real bitter oak. And then it's got that great vanilla balance to it. So that vanilla sweetness and then kind of a sweet oak. I've had some store picks that have a little bitter oak, but the normal one I get, not a lot of bitter oak. I like oak. I just don't like the oak to be dry and bitter. Rare Breed, Wild Turkey stuff tends to have a little bit more bitter oak. But that Rare Breed, high proof, I forget what's the proof on the Woodford. It's not super high. The Rare Breed is going to be a lot higher proof. I'm going to get, some of that kind of dusty oakiness, a slight bitterness on the Rare Breed, but still a really, really good pour. Yeah, would Hollywood, would that make it better if we, of course, the benefit here is that I have it dirtied up. I have to wash every one of these Glencairns every time I come down here, it feels like. So is this better? Is that what we're looking for right there? Get this off the screen here so nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on. Feeling good, Adam, feeling good. I don't hate on Scotch. I just don't like it. I'm not hating. I just don't like it. Where's Nate? What I need him? I don't know where Nate is. Jumping back over on TikTok. I need a Nashville Barrel Company. We were talking about that a minute ago. Just got the Old Forester King Ranch. Did just get that last week. Tried it on the stream last week. I need to go back to it. I'll probably do that here pretty soon after it's sat for a couple of weeks. I didn't love it. Like, I like Old Forester. I like everything Old Forester does. So it's very Old Forester up front. And then you get that kind of mesquite oakiness on the finish, which I thought is not better than just like a 1920 or, some of the other Old Forester products. So not bad, but I didn't just love it either. Salted caramel, vanilla, Pepsi, Cokes on the rocks. Best thing ever. Okay. We're going to do some stuff with that salted caramel. I have, Cole, I have a bottle of Filibuster. We haven't opened it yet. I bought it for video. I don't know. We were buying us some bottles for videos. I was like, I've never seen this. I'll grab it. So I haven't opened it yet, though. What's my best budget whiskey? $17 Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Is there any way you could try that combo with the comment? I don't have those things right now, but the vanilla Pepsi Cola on the rocks, so vanilla Coke, salted caramel, I'm going to give that a try. Just not tonight because I don't have a vanilla Coke or Pepsi. Rebel 100 is a great cheap bourbon. Another wheater. Yeah, good cheap bourbon. Where can I get a bottle of Bllandons? I mean, around here, they're not that hard to find. The state drops them just Saturday. You line up. You're going to have to be there for probably 4 or 5 hours. Really 3 or 4 hours probably this weekend. You get you a bottle of Blanton's. RJ, we're going to do our own store pick, but no, I'm not selling bourbon other than the store picks. Filibuster's pretty smooth, Cole says. Nice. All right, jumping back over on YouTube. Am I caught up? I know I missed a bunch, but I think I might make sure I didn't scroll up here. I think I might actually be. Yeah. So, Michael, this is what you're looking for right here over on YouTube. We're going to get all the carbonation out of it, right? It's so much worse out of this, right? It's just flat now. So, what do I think about the Whistle Pig Boss Hog? Never had it, man. It's pretty pricey. It's pretty pricey, and I'm a little iffy on rinds. Like I don't want to spend that kind of money and not like it. So you tell me. Old Forester's my favorite bourbon, Albert says on YouTube. The single barrel strength is legendary. Yeah, that's hard to argue with that. What barrel is sitting to what barrel? Oh, the little barrel over there. Is that? Can you see the little barrel back in the corner here? Right now, it's just full of water. We're about to start running some experiments for videos, and so I got it out to shoot the aging some whiskey in it, and it was leaking because I filled it with water, let it sit in water because it was going to be like a few weeks before we filmed anything after it come in. So I let it sit. I emptied it out, and then I ended up not getting to that video, and so it sat for like a week and a half. It dried out. So I filled it back with water to let it kind of, sit there and soak and seal up, and then we'll probably film that tomorrow too. Jumping back on TikTok. What am I sipping on right now? Dr. Pepper. Buffalo Trace single barrel, any good? Yeah, but it's not any better than just Buffalo Trace. Honestly, I think most of the store picks of Buffalo Trace I've had have not been as good as just Buffalo Trace. Central Georgia still has Blandons at retail and small town stores. It just depends on where you're at as to whether or not you can get it. How do you like Jack Daniel's Green Label compared to black? I think the Green Label is like not as old and thinner. Like it's been a long. I don't even know if I've had the Jack Daniel's Green Label in forever. And honestly, I might be even misremembered. I may be getting it mixed up with, what was it? Jim Beam had a Green Label, I think, right? And that one was just like watered down nastiness. And I want to say the Jack Daniel's Green Label was similar. Thoughts on egg salad? It's just weird, man. It's just weird. Like chicken salad, okay. Egg salad, it's just odd, man. I don't know why people want to do it. Loving the Penelopes. Nothing wrong with the Penelope. Sam Houston 15's good stuff. Business. What's going on? Birthday soon, and my wife wants to buy me 3 bourbon ryes. Well, I don't know. Like, what kind of budget are we talking about? Let me know. Yeah, the Sam Houston 15 is pretty good, right? It's like it's pretty much the same thing as these Calumet 15-16s up there. Good bottle if you can get it. What Pappies do I have? I have Pappy's 15. I have the Van Winkle Lot B 12-year and the Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year. I want to say the 15. Somebody I know had it, sold it to me at a decent deal. Not a great deal, but much cheaper than secondary on that bottle. The Lot B, a friend of mine had it. We did some dealings to get that bottle, and I ended up sending a bunch of bottles. Anyway, can't talk about these things on social medias. And then the Rip came from the lottery in the state of Alabama. Eagle Rare store picks can be pretty good. Again, I haven't had any. There's been a few. I take that back. There's been a few Eagle Rare store picks I thought were really good, better than normal Eagle Rare. So that is one of the few store picks I find where they're moderately consistently better than just normal Eagle Rare. Jake, I don't really worry about shelf life for my open bottles, but like it would suck if they go bad. Like once they get kind of low, that's kind of like this weekend. When I had a few pours, I always went to the bottles that are almost empty. So yeah, if they get kind of low, they need to get drank. Stratton, William LaRue Weller. All right, back over on YouTube. Scotch tastes like sipping used sock water. It's just good bourbon somebody soaked a rubber band in. I got a barrel Armida. Did I screw up? It was expensive. I don't know. Like I don't know if I've had the Armida, to be honest with you. I like the Vantage though. So if you could have got that one, I know you say you couldn't, but if you could have got that one, you probably did screw up. But I haven't had the Armida. Y'all let me know. The barrel bourbon. Oh, you're talking about the barrel bottle, not the barrel. This barrel. I got you. Sorry about that. This is the Total Wine store pick called Grandma's Peach Pie. This is my favorite thing from Barrel. I absolutely love this. And this is kind of what we're going for with the Brusel store pick because I've enjoyed this thoroughly. Now, obviously, it won't be exactly this, but this is what I told them we want to kind of model what we're doing after. Haven't tried Untitled? No. Cheers, story time. What's going on? Don't know what scotch you're drinking? All of them? What's going on, Kowalski? Just wait, they found out pear salad? Yeah. I don't know. People make a salad out of anything these days. Can't find Blanton's in the Cleveland area, Angry Bear on TikTok says. John Malone got a bottle of Angel's Envy. It's good whiskey, but the flavor seems off from the cask. Well, Angel's Envy's port wine finish, right? So, if you don't like the port finish, you're just not going to like it. And I'm not a huge fan of the port finish. It's not as off-putting as some finish, like a Cabernet finish. Oh, my God, I can't drink that crap. But like a port wine finish, I can tolerate it, but it doesn't improve the whiskey to me. I don't think I've ever drank a Twisted Tea, Swagger. Best whiskey, mid-shelf. Again, the probably the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Angel's Envy is terrible. Okay. I mean, I can see how you could think that. I don't like it. It's not something I go to a lot. I have it, but it's not something I drink a lot. But I wouldn't call it terrible. Blanton's or Michter's small batch. I prefer small batch. Most of the time, I would probably lean that way too. Mark, if you'd like, I could ship you a bottle of Old Forester King Ranch. I just got one. I have one sitting back there. It's back there. I don't know. You probably can't see it. I definitely can't see it on TikTok because we're cropped in. So, we're going to the Barrel. Barrel's got us set up at a restaurant to do the store pick in Louisville. User. I don't know where I'm going bourbon hunting. I'm just going to hook up with somebody local that knows what they're doing. Crown Caramel with milk. I don't know about that. Jumping back over on YouTube. Think the Scotch World for your cask strength, small batch, unchilled, filtered. I mean, I think we hurt Fat's feelings over here. I'm not hating on it. It's fun. I poke and jest. It's just not to my flavor profile, right? I'm wrong. So many people love it. I understand that I am wrong, but I still don't like it. Buffalo Trace original versus kosher. I've never sat there and compare. I've had both, but I've never sat there to compare them. So I don't know. Armada's wild, not really for new to bourbon people, as it has some contrasting flavors. Interesting. And I forget what the Armada is. That's some of their finished stuff, right? Got any murder all the turkeys senselessly day? Do I have any Thanksgivings? Is that what you're saying? Oh, plans. We do a family thing. I'll go see the family, my aunts and uncles and stuff like that. So we'll go down there. My brother will deep fry turkey. Love a deep fried turkey. Appreciate it. Over on TikTok, Ilyathan? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you. I appreciate it. Just bought the Old Forester 1897. I don't think I've had the 1897. I do like the 1920. That's my go-to high proof though. Special occasions. Normally if I go to folks, most time if I go to special occasions, it's folks that are not super into bourbon. So I just take a Blanton's. The most tasty whiskey, most tasty doesn't mean best, right? It could have really bad tastes going on. The most tasty, let me give you something I've had recently I thought was the most tasty, and that was the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. What's up, Josh? Yeah, we were just talking about Calumet 15. Pretty good. I like 16 better, though. Drank too much Buffalo Trace. When and where my bear pick? It'll probably be January before it's available, and I don't know where yet, so stay tuned. I've had a lot of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Some of them are good. Some of them are I'm not a huge fan of them. That's why they just said, I've got like 5 of them open behind me. I just never drink them. I open them, I try them, just never drink them. Kosher seems oakier to me, Devin says. Interesting. Blanton's is tough to find all over Northeast Ohio, which is why I grabbed the Middle West, and you're going to snag a water... And I'm going to try to snag a Watershed Select this week. Nice. Yeah, the Blanton's here, though. Like, literally, I could go get one Saturday. I bought 2 of them last month. Bought one the month before. Like, they're just not that hard to come by. Bottle you regret buying the most? I don't know. I'm just one of those people that I don't really have regrets. Like, I don't regret things, right? I learn lessons. And I enjoy things. So, like, realistically, I just don't regret any of them. Some of the, like the Detling stuff back there, I don't like it. I don't regret it. Now I know I don't like Detling, so that was a lesson learned. So I don't go through life with a lot of regrets on anything, big or small. Well, Brevard, I am a well-rounded bourbon content creator. Physically, metaphorically. I love the Old Forester 1920. Yeah, 1870 is also great. I haven't had that one. I need that one. How do I get Weller? Oh, that's even tougher than Blanton's most places. You're going to have to distribute Alabama for your barrel pick. Probably not, Jordan. We're probably going to find a retailer in another state, have it sent there, let them do all the logistics around taking payments and shipping out, and then they take a cut. McKenna 10 Bottle and Bond. I need to add that on my list of bottles to try and do a Brusel score because I haven't. Dovetail. I had some Dovetail. It was it was pretty good, but I literally it's just one pour in a bar, so I can't give a rating, and that was probably a year or two ago. What's the difference between bourbon and whiskey? Bourbon is a subset of whiskey. It just has more rules around, it has to be made in the U.S., it has to be majority corn. Whiskey, pretty much anything made with any sort of grain in the U.S. If you're over there, if you're over in Europe, they have different rules. One daily, one mid, and one, it got cut off there, Nunya. So one daily, one mid. For your daily, like if you're just going good daily drinker, I would probably pick up a Wild Turkey 101. If I'm going mid, though, but see, if you're going to do Wild Turkey 101, then the mid, you're not going to probably get that rare breed then. So let's go rare breed, and let's change the daily, probably to a benchmark bonded. Then you're going to hit the rare breed on the mid, and then I'm assuming the last one was something next level and expensive. So that's going to be, I don't know what you could find, though, that's going to be next level and expensive. So I don't want to recommend something that you're just not going to be able to get, right? Because that's not going to help you out any. Now, if you find something super high end and allocated, right, that's great. If you find a Weller, great. If you find, some of these Michter's Limiteds, those are fantastic. Some of the Woodford Reserves, the master distillers selections are really nice. Some of them not so much. So just you might do a little research. Russell's Reserve 13, something with a little higher proof you might enjoy. A Blanton's Gold or Rock Hill Farms or Blanton Straight from the Barrel, Stag Junior. Like all of those are great, but you just can't find them unless you get lucky or you pay secondary price on them. So I would like to see a Stag Junior, like super high proof, but we already did the rare breed, which is pretty high proof. So what are we going for the high end? An E.H. Taylor? You could get those reasonable, but still not super easy to find. So what's the high end bottle that he can go get? Like he could just go buy. It's a tough question. Also on this mid-tier, I haven't opened this one yet, but I'm getting a lot of good reviews on this one. 10-year-old Bullet, a lot of good reviews on that one. So you might try that instead of that rare breed. But on the higher end, really, you're just going to have to figure out what allocated stuff you could find. Crazy, we just talked about the Old Forester King Ranch. I like it because I like Old Forester. I don't like what the King Ranch, what do they filter it over charcoal or whatever? I don't like what that did to it. McKenna 10 is now the smoothest bourbon I've ever had. It's a good whiskey. I like it. I just haven't ranked it. Cole, the only Kentucky Owl I have is confiscated. I didn't. I was going to try at a bar in Vegas, but I ended up not. So I couldn't tell you on the actual batches. I hear they're fantastic though. I just can't spend $300 on a bottle like that. I just don't do it. I buy too many for videos. I just can't. Like most of these, I got at MSRP or right around. What website? Again, we can't talk about that, Tanner. I literally can't tell you what website to buy it on. I don't buy it online. It's kind of new that I can even ship to the state of Alabama, so I don't have a go-to, but it's against YouTube terms of service for me to tell you. A lot of people do it. They get away with it. I'll be the one they make an example of. Who thinks WKRP Turkey Drop is one of the best scenes ever made for TV? You talking about WKRP in Cincinnati, or is that what we're talking about? I don't know which. I don't know the scene. Let's see. Mama lives in Woodland. Yeah. I'm from Daviston, right the other side of Wadley. Yeah, I mean, she probably could. So Woodland, though, I don't know where the closest bourbon drop would be to you, right? They only do it in certain places, and she's going to have to wait in line for a little while. But you got to have an Alabama ID. But, like, if there's a bourbon drop around Woodland, and there might be, I don't know. Sometimes they distribute them a little wider, so you might have one in Randolph County. You might go to Roanoke or something like that and get it at least. Appreciate it, Brevard. I've had Blue Label. It's not that bad. Wouldn't spend money on scotch. Not my thing. Yes, I do prefer bourbon over rye, Marsh. All right, back to TikTok. Blanton's worth 110 secondary market. I don't think so. Old Granddad 114. That's a good cheap one right there. That's a good cheap one. Just found a Wild Turkey 12-year. Man, I wished I had that. That's awesome. If you're in Tennessee area, go to King's Family Distillery. I'll put it on the list. I get up there every once in a while. Russell's Reserve Single Barrel, that's a good one. The 10-year Russell's, good one as well. It's really bitter oak to me, so I don't love the Russells. I like them a lot, but that I just get a little bit too much bitterness for them to be like super high on my ranking. Rank the benchmark varieties. Oh, I need to do that in a video. I think that would be a pretty good video. Right now, I'm drinking the Bonded the most, but it's been a while since I've back-to-back them. Travis from Alabama, what's going on? Yeah, I'm an Opelika, man. I have a Balcones. I haven't opened it yet. How did I get into bourbon? Bad luck, man. Just bad luck. And all my money's gone now. Really just, work, sipping whiskey and talking about work. Really what it boiled down to. Yeah, Bullet. That 10-year I hear is really good. This is not a new microphone. This is my microphone from work, but I did just start using. Now that we can live stream, I can use the big camera and feed to YouTube and to TikTok. So like on TikTok, it's cropped in. On YouTube, it's a widescreen variation, and this mic picks up and sends to both. That mic, I have a mic up here. It just picked up too much background noise. I didn't love the sound. So this one picks up less background noise. We've got a bad echo in this room here with that mic, so just try to improve the stream. We're about to put a lot of effort into the stream, so trying to get it better. Rock Hill Farms single barrel. You were not impressed with Rock Hill Farms. Well, I tell you what you do. From now on, if you find one, just send it to me because I am very much impressed. Now make sure you wasn't buying Hill Rock, right? Make sure you were buying Rock Hill Farms. But yeah, I love it. It's a fantastic bottle. Where can you get Weller Brown or White Label? So you're talking browns like that orangey brown, single barrel and White Label CYPB. I don't know. Those are literally two bottles I've never owned. I've drank both, haven't owned one. $90 overpriced for a Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. I mean, it's MGP barrel strength whiskey, and that's going to be good. There are cheaper MGP barrel strength whiskeys out there. So are they better than that one? Really depends. But, $90 is about the going rate for a barrel strength in a lot of places. But I think that's a little high. Sipping on the rare breed. Nice. So, Isaac, Elijah Craig or Old Forester 86. If you don't know, if you've never tried either of those, I would go with the Old Forester 86. That's where I would start. Haven't tried the 10 Cup. Travis is in Coleman. Nice. Jumping back over to YouTube. Can one invest in the barrel picks? All right, so let's talk about that. I'm going to ramble for a minute. So, if you want your questions answered, it may take me a minute to get back to them. I want to talk about the live stream. I want to talk about a stupid idea I had. But yeah, we're going to pre-sale the barrel picks. The other night I couldn't go to sleep. So I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was just sitting there thinking. And of course we had the dude on with the Bourbon Club. And I'm like, what would a bourbon club, what would an ideal bourbon club look like? And so what I index on is I'm much more about the experience than I am the thing, right? So I would much rather contract distill a barrel and us pick all of the mash bill and the ingredients and the type of wood that's on the barrel, or how the barrel was seasoned, or where it's at in the rick house, or how we finish it, and do all of the experiential things than I would just buy a barrel and it's in a bottle and it's, now we drink it. I would much rather go through the whole process and do some of those types of things. So, and then that ages and we get to pick when it comes out, when it gets bottled, all of those different things. And I just thought it'd be really cool to have like a subscription club where like every month we, maybe some months we pick a barrel that is ready. Some months we have one contract distilled and aged for us. Maybe we have a little clubhouse with a get together where we do, events and things, and just, make it a bourbon club more around getting together with cool folks and hanging out and doing fun stuff than it is about, just doing a barrel pick every month. But I don't know how that would work. I don't know if we'd fill it up. I don't know if people would, contribute the dollars to something like that. I just suck at selling things to people. Really. I want to hang out with y'all. I don't want to take your money. But it takes a lot of money to do these dumb things. So, but we got the freaking website with t-shirts. I don't get on here and tell y'all to buy t-shirts. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that this Brusel hat's available unless somebody mentions it. I don't try to bring that stuff up because, I don't want it to seem like I'm just here to try to sell stuff to people. So we got to figure that out. But on the live stream, what we've decided to do, what I'm trying to build towards is I want to start giving y'all stuff, right? Rather than selling stuff, I want to start giving y'all stuff. So what we're going to do is I was trying to find a sponsor, and the problem is the best sponsors are online liquor stores, but they're, gray area on TikTok, completely against the terms of service on YouTube. So we can't take those as sponsors. We had somebody that was going to send us bottles. We were going to be able to give them away, whole thing. Platforms are like, you're not going to give away a bunch of bottles. I know all your favorite YouTubers and TikTokers are giving away bottles. I'm just telling you they're running a risk with their channel by doing it. We're going to try to stay on the straight and narrow. So what we've decided to do is try to take a sponsor of the live stream. It's not going to be a liquor store. Just find a sponsor. And I'm just going to give y'all my bourbon budget. So we're going to take a sponsor. That's going to be the bourbon budget, whatever they pay us for the live stream. We're just going to take that amount, and then we're going to bring a guest on. So we're going to bring somebody on, and we're going to play a game show. And they're going to be against the audience. So if you're not, they're going to be here answering questions, and they'll start, maybe they start with the first question, they win $1. And then the second question they get right, they win 2, then 4, then 8, 16, 32. It goes up to however much we get for a sponsor. I think we probably get $500. We might get $1,000 if we keep growing it. And they have a chance to get up to $1,000. But if they miss a question, that money then will be given to like one random person that's watching the live stream. And so there'll probably be points for comments and shares and all sorts of things. And every point will be a chance to win. And we're trying to figure out ways for the audience to make it harder for the person to win. Like, can you like super chat and it like cuts down the amount of time they have to answer the question? Or better yet, can we have somebody in the audience, like whoever's the leaderboard of points, or if somebody super chats or something, can you pick a category for their question so you can make their question harder? So that they're more likely to miss that question and it goes to somebody in the audience. Does that sound like something that would be interesting, to where you basically have a chance to win Brewzle's bourbon budget? That's what we're going to call it, Brewzle's bourbon budget, and we're just going to try to play games and give it all to y'all. Because I have people reach out that want to send me bottles, and I was like, that's fun, that's cool, send me bottles, but let's try to send bottles to other folks, and I just can't do it legally. So we're just going to give y'all the money to buy the bottles. So, haven't had 82nd Airborne there, Coleman. Too complicated? People don't understand it as well? Okay. That's fair enough, Alfonso. I think, we could figure out ways to simplify it, but yeah. Jumping back over on YouTube. Cheers, Jigs. Cheers. Cheaper bourbon for an old-fashioned. We go through a lot of ancient age 10-star here, and it's like 1.75 liters is $25. Jefferson's Ocean depends on the voyage. 22, really good. 17, not so good. Don't drink Irish whiskey. Bullet, it's been a while since I've had a Bullet. I just bought a 10-year. Haven't had it yet. So, Elijah Craig 18, I like it a lot. Again, I haven't had Boondocks. Uncut Unfiltered is about 75, so that's a bit of a markup on it. Jack Daniels needs to step up their game. Love their single barrel. Yeah, Jack is really stepping up their game. Yes, everything Jack Daniels does is really good. I mean, Old Number 7, I get it. That's not a Glencairn worthy bourbon. I know, not a bourbon, whatever. But it's still freaking delicious, mixed with, Coke or whatever. But everything else they release is actually really, really good. I'm not a single malt fan, so I don't think I'll like their single malt release. But appreciate it, Albert. Appreciate it. Who wants to be a Brusel heir? We were going to do Who Wants to be a Bourbon heir, like bourbon, H-E-I-R, like inheriting bourbon. That's what the show is supposed to be, but we can't get approval. I need approval from the platforms that they're not going to ban me for it, and they won't give it. So, haven't had the rare breed rye, the Old Forester 100 proof rye. I bet that Old Forester 100 proof would make a good one. Elijah Craig rye makes a good one as well. Logan, I'm missing a lot of chats, man. That TikTok is going fast. I see your Whistle Pig comments. The Whistle Pigs I've had are pretty good. I don't drink a ton of ryes. Found out my wife is pregnant with our first child. What's a good whiskey bourbon to celebrate? Man, I don't know. What are you into? So when my first grandchild was born, we got an Old Forester birthday bourbon from that year, and we will save it and have that with her when she's 21. Also, a lot of people will get Bllandons with the dump date of their date of birth if it so happens that they're dumped on that particular day. Like baby's born on a weekend, probably not going to get that dump date. But if you want to just get out and celebrate right now, man, whatever you're into, any of them, it's really about the people you're celebrating with. So if I was looking for something kind of next level that I could get just about anywhere where I really wanted to celebrate, I would probably splurge and buy Old Forester 100 proof single barrel if you can get one, or barrel strength. I don't know if you roll like that. Those would be exceptional to have a celebration. That McKenna 10 somebody brought up is pretty good. Trying to find Calumet 16, probably a really good bottle for something like that too. Absolutely. All right, what time is it? It is 8:52. So don't forget, when I get off of here, we're going to call this stream in about 8 minutes, and then I'm going to go jump on the Discord. We're going to get into a voice chat, and we're just going to hang out for another hour or so. Yeah, not a big fan of the flavored stuff, but the Crown Salted Caramel is good with a little bit of Dr. Pepper. I'll bet it is. If I was drinking tonight, I'd give it a try. But Costco, I don't even think we don't have a Costco within 45 minutes, and I don't think it sells. It may sell alcohol. I don't have a membership. Logan, so on this Saturday, I probably won't even go, honestly. Probably won't even go. Okay, so can I elaborate on why Jack Daniels is and isn't a bourbon? Okay, so to be a bourbon, and we're going to take this question, then we're going to call it, then we're going to jump in the Discord. I apologize if I missed y'all's questions. I appreciate everybody hanging out. But Jack Daniels adheres to all of the standards for bourbon, right? With one exception. And so bourbon has to be 51% corn on the mash bill. It has to, and then you can use any cereal grain after that. It has to be aged in, new charred oak barrels, and it has to be made in the United States. That's a bourbon. And there may be some other small things in there, but realistically, that's what makes a bourbon. Jack Daniels does all of those things. But Jack Daniels takes their new make whiskey and they filter it through charcoal to remove, again, haven't been drinking, to remove impurities. I tried to make that one word, remove impurities. And so they say it makes it smoother. It gets rid of some of the things that causes hangovers. Whether all that's true or not, whatever. But they alter it. Bourbon can't have flavor added and be called a bourbon. So like Angel's Envy, not bourbon. Angel's Envy was bourbon, and then they port wine finished it. And they just kind of get by saying this is bourbon that was port wine finished, right? So technically, Jack Daniel's is not bourbon according to that. But realistically, everybody just considered it bourbon. It was considered bourbon. Jack Daniel's actually went through the trouble. I think they may have sued or whatever they did, but they went through the trouble to be declassified as bourbon. Like, it wasn't like they're like, oh, this is bourbon, and everybody's like, no, it's not. Everybody's like, that's a freaking bourbon, and Jack Daniel's like, you ain't calling me a bourbon. You get this shit straight. We're Tennessee whiskey. And so they went through the trouble, and it's really just marketing on their part. They want to be different. They want to stand out, right? So they fought for the right to not be called a bourbon. And so everybody's like, dude, we don't take it that serious. It's fine. Just call yourself Tennessee whiskey. And so they're not a bourbon, but they are a bourbon. But they're not a bourbon. Don't have any new riff, I don't think. No, don't. All right, guys, we are going to call this live stream. I'm going to go jump in the Discord. I'll be over there. I'm going to run to the restroom. I'm going to grab me a fresh Dr. Pepper. I'll be over in the Discord. We'll jump into one of those live chat rooms. We'll hang out for a little while longer, another hour or so if y'all want to. The link to the Discord is in the bio over on TikTok. On YouTube, you should be able to just check the description of the video. Again, I appreciate everybody hanging out, and we will see y'all later. All right, we entered the YouTube stream, and now we're going to